Hi and welcome to Code with Stein. This is part 6 of how to build a time tracking SaaS using Django and Vue. In this part I'm going to add dashboards where you can get an overview of the registered time and similar. So the first thing I need to do is create the Django app. So I go to the command line, just stop the web server, create a new folder, mkdir apps/dashboard. And then I create the app using Python, manage.py, start app, dashboard, and then the location, which is apps/dashboard. Then I can just run the server because I'm not going to have any models in this app. So I can go back to Minutos settings.py and register it with the Django apps.dashboard and save. Okay, so then I can set this task to done. And then I want to create a new URLs file for all of the dashboard apps, which is the user profile, project and similar. So if I just find the dashboard folder here, create a new file, urls.py. Okay, first I can import Django, import Django from django.urls import path. And then I say URL patterns equals, create a list, and then I can go to the Minutos folder at the bottom here, and I can cut out these two. I can just paste them there for now, because I want all of these three. So now I can do this, and I can say path, and every URL that starts with dashboard, then I want to include apps.dashboard.urls because I want all of these to be located in that app. So now I go back here and paste these. So now everything with the projects, my account and teams is in here. So I have them all together in one place. Perfect. So then I can set these to done and done. And then I want to show what I have done today and make it possible to go back in time. First I create a view for the dashboard. So if I go up again here into views.py in the dashboard app folder. First I want to import some functionality from Python, from datetime, import datetime, and I need time delta and I need time zone. And I also want to get relative delta from Python from date util dot relative delta import relative delta. Then I import some functions from Django. I need the render and I need a redirect and get object or 404. And since I want users to be logged in, I need a decorator from django.contrib.auth.decorators import login, import login required. And I want the user object model from django.contrib.auth.models import user. And I need some more models from our project, import models from apps.project.models import entry, and from apps.team.models import team, like that. And then below here I can create the views. Def dashboard, we can begin with this, request, return render request, then the template dashboard/dashboard.html and save. You don't need anything more there, but I can remember to add the login decorator before I forget it. Next step now is to import this to the URLs. So import views from .views import dashboard and add this to the top here. This can just be empty. Pass in the view name and give it a name so we can reference it at other places. Now open up base.html And down up here next to the project, I create a new link, agref, URL, dashboard. Don't need a namespace for this one. Class navbar item, dashboard, and save. So if I now go here, okay, there is an error. apps.dashboard.url is not a module, no, because it's supposed to be URLs, because that's the name of the file. Save, refresh. Okay, I need to stop and run the server again. No module name dateutil. Okay, maybe I need to install this. Python, pip install python dateutil. And then run the server again. Include is not defined, sorry, no. In here, need to say include up here as well. Okay, now there's no error, perfect. Refresh. My account, of course, because all URLs now starts with dashboard. And here we get the template doesn't exist error. That's perfect, because we haven't created a template yet. So inside the dashboard folder, we create a new one, templates, and then a new folder with the name of the app dashboard, and then a new file, dashboard.html. I want this to extend the base template like everyone else. Extends core/base.html, block content, and the block. Can actually copy this and add the title as well. Block title, dashboard, pipe it, and block. And in here I create a div class columns and is multi-line, because then I can have columns that take up half the screens and end up under each other as well. And div class column is 6. Div class notification left. And below this, I want to show the newest projects as well. Div class columns. Div class column is 12. H2 class subtitle newest projects. I can also make this a multi-line. Save it. So now I can go here and refresh. Template doesn't exist. Why? What have I done? Okay, I just stopped the server and tested again, and now it was working. Perfect. So then I can keep on working with this one where I'm going to show what I've done today. To do this, I need to create a utility file. So if I scroll up a little bit and find the dashboard folder, new file, utilities.py. First I want to import something from Python. Import Python from datetime, import datetime. And I want the database models from apps.project.models import entry. Utility functions. First I want to create a function for getting how much time I have done for a user and a certain date. So def get time for user and date. Here I want to pass in the team, the user, and what day I want. And then I get entries by saying entries equals entry.objects.filter. Team is the team you have activated. Created by is the user. Created at date equals date. So since created at is a date time field, we need to separate just the date out of this and compare it with the date we pass in. And is tracked equals true, because if you just start tracking time, which you're going to do later in this project, it will be set to is tracked false until it is tracked. And then return sum, so we summarize all of this, entry.minutes for entry in entries. Great. Then I can create one more function. This will be the same as this, but for month. Okay, sorry, I had a little typo. It's supposed to be for user and date. And then I want one function for getting the time for a team and a certain month. So def get time for team and month. Pass in the team and which month we want. Entries equals entry.objects.filter. Team is team. And created at _year equals month.year. And created at month equals month.month. And is tracked also has to be set to true. Then we can return sum entries.minutes for entry in entries. And then I want to just copy this because I need a similar function for the user. So get time for user and month. And here I need to say just the same, but I can pass in created by equals user. And then I also need one more parameter here, user. Perfect. And then I want to get a certain time for a user in a project for a month. So def get time for user and project for and month. So we get the time register for a user for a certain project in a certain month. Here we need a team, the project, the user and the month. Entries equals entry.object.filter. Team is team, project is project, created by is user, and I can copy these two. Actually, I can copy the rest of this like that. So we get certain year and month. Perfect. And then we can just return the same as up here. And the last function we need to create here is def get time for user and team and month. So it's almost the same, but it's just for how much you have registered for the whole team. Team, user, month. So we can just copy this. And here I need to say created by equals user. And I can copy the year and month up here. No, sorry. Year and month and is tracked. Like that. Then we will return the same. Okay, so now this file can be saved, so we can start using it other places. Just want to copy these 5 function names. Copy all of this. Go to views.py. And up here I say from .utilities import get time. Like that. Now we get all of these 5 functions imported, so we can use them on the dashboard. Like that. Perfect. Say import utilities and save. Okay, so now I need to change this view a little bit. First I want to check here if we have an active team. So we say if not request.user.user profile.active team ID. Then we just return or redirect the user to the account page. Return, redirect my account. And there they can activate a team. Check if active team. So I have a comment. Then get team and set variables. Team equals get object of 404. Pass in the team model. Primary key is the same as up here. Copy this like that. And the status for the team also need to be active. So status equals team.active. So we don't get deactivated teams. All projects. We want a list of all the projects for this team. Team.projects.all. And I want one variable to get all the members from this team. Members equals team.members.all. And then do a little thing to get all of the time that I have done today. Finally, user date and pagination. Num days, if we want to go back in time, equals int, so we convert it to integer. Request.get, so we get this from the URL. Num days, default is 0 because we want today as the default. Date user equals date time dot now minus time delta. Days equal num days. So this is how long back in time we want to go for the date. Date entries, we want to get the entries from this certain date. Entry.objects.filter. Team is team. Created by equals request.user. Created at date is date user. So that's the date we get up here. And is tracked equals true. Context, we create a little dictionary with all of the data we need for the front end. Context, we want the team. And we want all of the projects. All projects. We want date entries, so we get all the entries from this date. And we want to know how many days, num days. And the date, the date we have gotten. We want to get all of the members. And time for user and date. And now we're going to use the function we created up here. Get time for user and date. And there we just pass in team, request.user and date user. And save. Let's check if we have any errors. No, perfect. If I refresh now, everything seems like it was before because we haven't done anything to the front end yet. So if I now go back to dashboard.html, just to remove this label here, h2 class subtitle, your time, check if num days is 0, then your time is today, else, then we can print date user, pipe it into date, and because we just want the year, the month and the day. And if can save this and refresh, your time should say today. Okay, the reason why that isn't working is because in the views.py I forgot to pass this in here. So if I now save, refresh, you'll see your time today. Perfect. So dashboard.html again, and below the title we check if date entries, which is all of the entries for this date, and if there are, we create a new table class. Table is full width, style text align left, so all of the text goes to one side of the table, just to be sure. Thead, tr, td, task, you want to know which project it's registered on, and td time, how many minutes. T-body, and here we loop through all of the entries for entry in date entries, and for tr, td, entry.task.title, td, entry.project.title, and td, entry.minutes. And we want the foot to show the total, t foot, tr, td, total, call span can be set to 2, and td, time for user and date, which is the function we created in the utility file. Refresh, nothing seems to be showing there, because I haven't done anything today, of course. So if I just find a project, register some time today, 2 hours, submit. So now this was done today. If I now go to the dashboard, whoops, dashboard, still not working. Okay, the problem is that the extract is not set default to true. So I just want to fix this in views.py in the project. So in the task view, where we create a new entry, just want to scroll to the end, extract equals true, and save. So if I now go to projects, details, and into this, 2 hours, submit, and now I've done 4 hours today. So if I now go to dashboard, you'll see here your time today and everything. Perfect. So then I can change the template a little bit, because if there are no entries, I want to show a message, else p class block, no entries today. And then to go back in time, I just create a button below here, href, question mark equals num days equals num days, just add colon 1 class empty for previous, and I can say if num days is greater than 0, that's if I have gone back in time, I want to show next button, and if I can just copy this, next, and instead of saying add 1, I say add -1, save. So if I now refresh, you'll see the previous button. If I click it, I should go back in time, but I added one too many of this equal sign here. Refresh. So if I now click this, previous, I go back 1 day with 27, which was yesterday. I can go back to 26, and I can go forward again to today. Perfect. So now I can go to the to-do list. I can set this task to done. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to my Patreons. And then I want to do the same thing I did now, but for each month. So if I go back to the dashboard view, create a new comment, user month, and pagination, user num months equals, copy this, and replace the name of the parameter with this, user month equals date time.now minus relative delta months equals user num months. So we see how many months we want to go back in time. And to do this, I also need to add some information to the different projects. So I need to loop through them for project in all projects. Project.time for user and project and month equals get time for user and project and month. Pass in the team, the project, the request.user and user month. So we pass in which month we want to get it from. And then I need to append all of this data to the context, so we have it in the front end as well. Which month it is. And time for user and month. Oops. Get time for user and month. No, sorry. Get time for user and month. Pass in team and request.user and which month we want to get. And save. So now everything is okay in the back end. So we can go to the front end and do some changes there. So first I can copy these top 3 lines here. And then I go below this one, close and close. Your time, if num months is 0, we say this month, but if it's not, we say user month, and we can pipe it into year and month. Perfect. So if we save this now, refresh, okay. Query set object has no attribute minutes. Okay, I've done something wrong. Entries.minutes, yes, of course, sorry. Go back to the utility file. This is supposed to say entry.minutes on all 5 of these. Save. Refresh. And now your time should say this month, but why doesn't it? Maybe I did something wrong. If num months is 0, it's supposed to be user num months, of course. Like that. So if I now save, refresh, it says your time this month. Perfect. Then I can copy all of the contents below this title as well. Copy, replace. And if here, instead of saying date entries, we say time for user and month. We want to check if there has been any activity this month. And I don't want to show which task it's been on, but I want to show the project and the time. So here I loop through for project in all projects. And I want to check that if project dot time for user and project and month is greater than 0, then I want to show the project in the list here. Oops, like that. And if don't want to show this, and I can say project.title, and instead of saying entry.minutes, I say project.time for user and project and month. I can send this in like that. And here we say time for user and month. Save. This should not be called span 2. Save. Refresh. So now you will see that I have 120 minutes this month. Perfect. And I can also go back a month. No, sorry. I forgot to change this to user num months. Should show there. And instead of saying num days, I say user num months. Save. And this should also be replaced. Sorry. Refresh. And now I should be able to go back 1 and 1 month. Perfect. No entries this month. Save. Okay, so now everything with the month is working, and we can set this to done. And then, since I am a team owner, I want to show what my team has done this month. So I can go back to the view, and at the bottom here I say team month, pagination, team num months, and I can copy these two because they're very similar. Team num months, which month the team should get the data from. Paste it in there. And I want to do almost the same thing I did here, but for the members in the team. So for member in members, member.time for user and team and month equals get time for user and team and month. And then we need to pass in the team, which member we want the time for, and team month, like that. Great. And now the last thing we can need to do here is to add this data to the context. Time for team and month, get time for team and month. I need to pass in team and which month to use, team month. And also this team num months needs to be available in the front end, and the team month, like that. So now we can save this, just see that there are no errors. If I refresh, everything is still working. And then I want to show it down here. And we only want to show this if we are the team owner. But at least I can copy this top here, these two lines, and say here if request.user equals team.created by. If not, this will not be shown. Close, close, and end if. And in here I create a title, h2 class, subtitle, your team, and check if team num months is greater than, no, is 0. Then I say this month, else we need to show the date or the month we use. Team month, pipe it into date, and we only want the year and the month, like that. Then we can close the end if. Save, refresh, your team this month, perfect. And then I want to check below the title if time for team and month is greater than 0. Then we want to show a table. Table class, table is full width, style text align left, else p no registered time for your team this month. And if, then we can make the two buttons for going back in time. We can copy this up here. But instead of saying team, no, user num month, we say team num month. Just to replace all of this and save. So if I now refresh, we can go back in time here as well. Perfect. Okay, so now it's time to loop through the users here. So first I create athead, tr, th name, and th time. And then we say t body for member in members, and for Forgot to add the percentage sign there. tr, td, and then we want to use the function for showing the username. First off, member.get full name, and if not, member.username. And td, here we just say member.time for user and team and month, and save. So now you will see that Stein, who has it, which is me, has registered 120 minutes this month. Perfect. So now we can go back to the to-do list and set this to done. And next I want to format the minutes, because we don't want to see 120 minutes, we want to see 2 hours or 1 hour and 20 minutes and similar. To do this, I want to create something called a template tag. So inside the dashboard app, we create a new folder called template tags, and in there we create a new file __init__.py, just to tell Django or Python that we are going to use this folder. Then we create a new file called dashboard_extras.py, and then I want to import datetime from datetime import datetime, and from Django import template, def format minutes, value, this is the value or minutes we pass in, return, then we format the string colon to dh colon to d dot format multiply div mod value 60, and we need to register this filter with Django. This is the same as we use date and similar. So register equals template dot library register dot filter format minutes underscore comma format minutes, and save. And to activate this, we need to stop the server and run it again. No attribute name Fiddler, of course not. Filter. Okay, just want to stop and run it again to be sure. And then we got no errors. Perfect. So if I now go back to the template, we can say on top here, load dashboard extras. So then it's loaded into the system. And for example here, where we say entry.minute, we just say pipe format minutes and save. So if I now refresh, this will say 2 hours and 0 minutes. So that's much better to look at. So now we can copy this, paste it there, and we can paste it there, probably some places I forget, but that's not really important. No, it's working everywhere. Perfect. And this can also be done in the projects. So if I just copy this line and go to the app project and into projects, paste it there, and here we say register time, we just say pipe format minutes, refresh, and now it says register time 5 hours and 0 minutes. Perfect. You can do that all over the project if you want to, but I don't need to use too much time on that right now, because I just this to done. And then the last task is to show the newest project at the bottom of the dashboard. So at the bottom here, I want to list out 4 projects. So if I go up to the dashboard app, and here under this, I just say projects, and I want to get all projects, but I only want to get 0 to 4, which is the 4 newest ones. And then if I go back to dashboard.html, and on the bottom here we will list out this, I can say for project in projects, and for div class column is 3, div class notification h2 class is size 5, project dot title, and then we can link to it href URL project colon project, pass in project.id, class button is info, details, refresh, and now you can see my new three newest projects. Perfect. If this list is empty, we can show information box, just saying p no projects yet, div, close it. Also want to show the registered time here. So p class is size 7, registered time, and project dot registered time, pipe it into format minutes, save, refresh. So now we see the time here, but we can also see how many tasks. So p class is size 7, tasks colon project dot num tasks. This will only show how many tasks with the status to do. Num tasks to do, save and refresh. So now you can set this to done. And then it's time to wrap up this part of the series. If you liked it, please click like and share below. If you want to check out the source code for this project, you can find a link to GitHub in the description below. And if you want notification when the next part of this project is published, you need to subscribe and also remember to click the bell. So see you next time.